Hello and welcome to another episode of Friday Night SmackDown here, and right underway with Sonya Deville coming to the ring. Sonya Deville last week, of course, viciously attacking Ronda Rousey, the SmackDown Women's Champion, from behind. Sonya Deville coming out here for a match against some local talent, wanting to prove a point, wanting to show what she's capable of, wanting to maybe give a demonstration. You see, very clearly it seems she's got Ronda Rousey and that SmackDown Women's title in her sights, saying last week she's not in a management role anymore. She can focus full time on becoming a women's champion. Sonya Deville never having won a women's title in the WWE, you have to remember. And you think she's going to want to correct that wrong against Ronda Rousey, it seems, wanting to take on the baddest woman on the planet. Is that a smart move? Only time will tell, but Sonya Deville looking to give a little demonstration of what she's capable here. And it's this local talent, Josie Jane, I believe her name is called. And it's Sonya Deville and Josie Jane going at it. Sonya Deville getting right into it, charging and taking down Jane with a big clothesline right away, Sonya Deville. But Jane fighting back into it, some strikes, some kicks, and then some big knees as well to Sonya Deville, taking her off her feet. Josie Jane maybe giving Sonya Deville a bit more of a handful as Sonya Deville slams her to the mat. And Sonya Deville, unleashing a flurry of big strikes right to the head of Jane there, wanting to teach him for even daring to try and fight back in here, grabbing her and tossing her into the rope. Josie Jane fighting out of it though, and getting a kick on Sonya Deville and some big hits as well, grabbing her and dragging Sonya Deville across the ring. Josie Jane drags her, but Sonya Deville manages to fight out of it, and a big elbow from Deville to Jane, and then a big kick to the side of the head, taking Jane down before Sonya Deville picks her back up, and Sonya Deville lifting her into the air and smashes her to the mat. Oh, that did look like it hurt. And now Sonya Deville locking in that submission hold, choking Jane out, and she taps. And Sonya Deville does get the victory here very quickly. Sonya Deville showing what she can do, giving a demonstration of how brutal she can be in this ring. Out of the ring for so long in that management role, maybe people forgot. But it's quickly dealing with Josie Jane here, showing people, reminding them what Sonya Deville is capable of and why she is such a tremendous athlete and superstar. And celebrating here, saying to the fans, this is what I can do. Did you remember me? And Sonya Deville getting a mic here, actually. It seems she's got something that she wants to say. Talking about taking out Ronda Rousey last week. No longer the manager role, like he said last week, like I mentioned earlier. And focusing on one thing, becoming a SmackDown Women's Champion. The fans maybe getting to Sonya a bit, distracting her. And Sonya Deville not taking kindly, telling fans to shut up. She doesn't care what they think. It's her time, she says. And says that Ronda Rousey, she's coming for her and she's going to make her look like a total. I'm not going to repeat what she said, but Sonya Deville has Ronda Rousey and that SmackDown Women's title on her mind quite clearly. It seems and it appears. And here we are, the Dirty Dogs, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. Ziggler, of course, winning last week against Drew McIntyre thanks to the Esquire interference. Talking about how he's ready for next week, where he'll fight Hardy, go forward to get a Universal title match. And Robert Roode next up against Nakamura. If he beats him, he gets Sami Zayn next week for an Intercontinental title match. And Dolph Ziggler promising Dirty Dogs country coming with both of them having the gold. Can they do it? We'll have to find out. Next up, first of all, Robert Roode's got to go through Shinsuke Nakamura. A very tough challenge, you have to admit, as Robert Roode gets ready to make his entrance here, making a very glorious entrance at that. And Robert Roode, as he mentioned in his interview, him and Nakamura have done battle in the past, in NXT even, for the NXT Championship on Grand Stage. Robert Roode defeating Shinsuke Nakamura to win the NXT Championship in the past. Can he defeat Nakamura again and set up that battle with Sami Zayn next week, where the winner will earn a shot at the Intercontinental Championship? Only time can tell. He'll have to get through Shinsuke Nakamura first, though. Shinsuke Nakamura, a tough competitor, but Robert Roode, very good as well. Maybe people forget it. Maybe, him and Dolph Ziggler's antics can distract from that sometimes, but Robert Roode, truly, on his day, can be one of the best performers on the planet. And you just hear the fans. They might not like Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler and the Dirty Dogs in general, but there's one thing they do like, and that's this theme song. An absolute banger theme song from Robert Roode. Glorious. You cannot deny an incredible theme tune from an absolute, not a very nice man, but a very, very nice theme song. Oh, you love to hear it, don't you? Robert Roode would kill me for focusing more on his theme song than his accomplishments or his character or anything like that, but it's just a real good theme song. Dolph Ziggler sat ringside for his partner here. Dolph Ziggler, as I mentioned, also defeating Drew McIntyre last week after that interference from Santos Escobar, hitting Drew McIntyre with a steel chair. Well, we still don't know his intention for it, but it allowed Dolph Ziggler the advantage. He followed up with 2 straight zigzags on his way to earning his spot in the Universal Championship match Contendership against either Jeff Hardy or Montez Ford. We'll find out which it will be. They're contesting in the main event later tonight. Those 2 superstars. It should be an epic between such an upcoming talent in Montez Ford and such a legend in Jeff Hardy. But focusing back on here he is. King Nakamura with Rick Boogs accompanying him to the ring. Of course, Nakamura ready for a battle. Nakamura ready to show he belongs, show how good he can be. Nakamura, recently Intercontinental Champion, only losing it back in February to Sami Zayn. So if he wins here, it'll be that rematch between Nakamura and Zayn. Zayn coming out on top for the title last time, but who will win and earn a shot at Ricochet in a ladder match at WrestleMania Backlash? Who knows? But first, gotta get past Robert Roode. Robert Roode, we've mentioned being in the title in the past, but Shinsuke Nakamura, he's on top of his game. He's got the crown. He held the Intercontinental title very recently. He's got the power of music, of rock and roll, of Rick Boogs in his corner. And as much as the Dirty Dogs might love having the numbers advantage, they don't have it this time. As much as the Dirty Dogs might think they're incredible, so is Shinsuke Nakamura. So this should be a really, really good matchup between Nakamura and Robert Roode. And I can't wait to see which way this is going to swing. And then either way, either Sami Zayn versus Robert Roode or Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura. An incredible matchup next week, either way, where the winner, Ricochet against any of those 3 guys, Nakamura, Roode, or Zayn, is going to be an incredible matchup in a ladder match for the IC title. I can't wait, but first we get this match. Robert Roode and Nakamura, that bell ringing, these 2 ready for action. And Robert Roode right into it, some big hits to Nakamura, and then kicking the gun, just slamming him, clothesline from behind into Nakamura's back, sending him to the mat, but Nakamura fighting up back with that big knee to the chest, and there's some big shots of his own, using his knees to his advantage, taking down Robert Roode. Roode back to his feet though, grabbing Nakamura, getting in position, lifting him up for the suplex, and just smashes him down, dropping him right on his face for climbing onto the apron and taunting a little bit, but Nakamura back to his feet and taking out Robert Roode. Robert Roode maybe a little too much taunting as Nakamura stunners him to the outside, fighting back into it, and Nakamura taunting him, a little taunting of his own here, as Roode approaches Boogs, but Boogs getting out of the way, not wanting to deal with it. Roode just staring down Shinsuke Nakamura as Nakamura waits in the ring, and Robert Roode climbing back into it. But Nakamura grabbing Roode, but Roode, a big kick to Nakamura's gut to take him down. And using the arm, got his arm, holding it down and stomping on the hand. Oh, that is not pretty. And then some more stomps to that hand from Robert Roode, wanting to hurt Nakamura here, choking him out a little bit here. Robert Roode, the referee, playing with him, but Roode got the hold on Nakamura, but Nakamura fighting out of it and taking Robert Roode down, taking the advantage back, tossing him into the rope and out of the ring. And Roode outside the mat, Boogs getting out of the way, not getting involved, not risking any type of disqualification. Very smart as Nakamura watches on and the referee begins to count. Ziggler shouting from across the ring as Roode gets back to his feet, and Roode onto the apron and back into the ring as Nakamura grabs a hold of him and meets him with a swift kick to the gut, and then a big kick to the back of the head, taken down, and then a big knee to the back of his back as well. Nakamura pointing, taunting, climbing to the apron, and taunting himself, but a little too much taunting. Allows Roode to get a big hit, and then another big drop kick, taking Nakamura down, sending him to the outside. And now Roode climbing to the top rope. What has he got on his mind here? Robert Roode looking to the outside. Oh my god. Diving wildly at Nakamura, but Nakamura managing to slide into the ring in time to completely avoid it, as Roode eventually gets back into the ring here. And Nakamura maybe a bit too much taunting, aroused Roode to get the advantage again. And a big smash, taking down Nakamura, sweeping the legs, bringing him down, making the cover. One. Only a one though. Nakamura with a quick kick out, nowhere near ready to give up yet, as Roode picks him up and suplexes him down. A massive suplex. His leg dropping onto the rope as well. That's gotta hurt. That can't feel nice. As Roode goes back to choking Nakamura by the neck, putting the pressure on the back at the same time. The pain Nakamura must be feeling in the back, in the neck, in the head. It is not pretty. As Nakamura gives a big swing right into Roode's head before picking him up and just, oh my lord, sending him flying. Nakamura's feeling it. Nakamura's feeling it. Some kick, and Nakamura kicking the hell out of Roode. 3, 4, 5. The fans loving it, chanting with every kick as Nakamura with a big roundhouse kick, taking Roode down, sending him onto the mat. Night, night, Robert Roode, as Dolph Ziggler providing a bit of a distraction, but Nakamura not allowing himself to get too distracted as he drags Roode to his feet, and he picks him up, holding him to his chest. Nakamura climbs across the ring and slams Roode into the turnbuckle and then tosses him to the mat. And some big kicks from Nakamura again as he climbs onto the middle rope. Nakamura goes for a knee drop, but can't quite make it. Sadly, misjudged the distance there, but he's got Roode up again. What's his plan? He's got him from behind, and he slams him right onto his knee. Nakamura really using the knee to his advantage as he awaits Roode to get up, and a Kinshasa before making the cover. The Kinshasa from Nakamura, and that is that. King Nakamura is in the Intercontinental title qualifying match. He'll next week be Sami Zayn versus King Nakamura, and the winner will take on Ricochet for that Intercontinental Championship in a ladder match at WrestleMania Backlash. What a match next week, and what a match that will be at WrestleMania Backlash. I cannot wait. Nakamura getting the win in the end here with that Kinshasa to Robert Roode. That SmackDown will not be Dirty Dogs Country. Dolph Ziggler might be in the contendership match next week, but Robert Roode will not be, as Nakamura celebrates. Rick Boogs looking on at his friend and partner as this is Nakamura's time. And big words from Escobar now going from McIntyre. The idea of building his legacy against McIntyre's The Rock. On the phone, Roman's still not answering him though, and Roman hanging up on The Rock's voice message as Sami Zayn sneaking up on The Rock again. The Rock knowing his name at least this time. Sami thanking him, one superstar to superstar. Oh, Sami Zayn in that Intercontinental Championship contendership match next week against Nakamura, and then one of those men fighting Ricochet. Sami Zayn very confident about his upcoming victories against Nakamura and Ricochet, as Sami Zayn running off, and The Rock seemingly not knowing his own name there. Oh my. Before it is time for the main event of this evening, where the winner will face Dolph Ziggler next week in that Universal Championship Contenders match. Angelo Dawkins joining him, Montez Ford, touted as a future world champion by our own general manager here on SmackDown, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And Montez Ford wanting to live up to that, praise from The Rock. And maybe that starts here, taking on a legend of the business, Jeff Hardy, where the winner faces Dolph Ziggler next week. Who is going to take that step forward and get a step closer to taking on Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania Backlash? Montez Ford is feeling it. Dawkins, his partner and his friend, joining him. Look at him. He's feeling it. He's vibing with it. This is the right mood. This is the right time, the right place. Red Solo cups at the ready for Montez Ford in the biggest match of his career. Maybe you'd have to say, against Jeff Hardy, a certified future Hall of Famer without question and without doubt. Montez Ford, though, he can go with the best of the best. He's proved that already. He can go with the top dogs. He can go all night and all day long in this ring. A battle of really two high-flying superstars as well. Jeff Hardy willing to do whatever it takes to win, put his body on the line, and whatever the cost, he will pay it. Whilst Montez Ford, a very high-flying superstar for himself, his frog splash, one of the most beautiful things you will ever witness, it has to be said. And Angelo Dawkins here to cheer him on. He's feeling it. He's got his special solo cup in hand. He's got that beautiful bedazzled glove on hand, and he is ready for this fight. But it's going to be one hell of a fight. Jeff Hardy, back in the WWE, making his return at WrestleMania, where he defeated who? he defeated Sami Zayn, coming in as Johnny Knoxville's replacement to take on Zayn, beating him, and now looking to get that dream match, looking to get that step closer to what he wants. One more WWE World Championship, the Universal Championship at that, the dream match with Roman Reigns for it. Jeff Hardy ready for this fight. A lot of respect from Montez Ford and a lot of respect from Montez Ford to Jeff Hardy. But both these guys, you gotta think, are gonna give this everything they've got so that they are the one walking out victorious. They are the one with that date with Dolph Ziggler next week. They are the ones that are one step away from immortality, from the Universal Championship match with Roman Reigns. The seemingly unstoppable Universal Championship reign of Roman Reigns. He's held on the title for so long, and it would feel weird if he didn't have it. But maybe one of these guys could be the guy that makes sure he no longer has it. The fans loving having Jeff Hardy back, by the way, it has to be said. And Jeff Hardy feeling it. You can see Jeff Hardy ready for this. Montez Ford ready for this. What a battle. What an absolute dream match. The Swanton versus the Frog Splash. Two high-flying athletes, both risk-taking, both willing to do what it takes. Ford feeling it. He's ready. Jeff Hardy ready. Game faces on and battle commences, grabbing each other into the hold, and Montez Ford immediately into it, grabbing Jeff by the hand and slamming him to the mat, and then hand him down and smashing him by the back of his arm into the mat. Montez Ford right to the top rope. Oh my god, over Jeff Hardy's head and bringing him down, grabbing his neck breaker to the mat from the top rope. Beautiful. Montez Ford showing his high-flying status immediately before dragging Jeff Hardy up on a DDT that turns Jeff Hardy right through. Montez Ford is not going to let up here, is he? He's going straight to it with another big DDT. DDT sending Jeff Hardy flying as Montez Ford immediately going for a pin. 1, 2, and so close already. Oh my god, Montez Ford. Standing moonsault. Jesus Christ. And then another standing moonsault. Oh my god. Jeff Hardy somehow managing to finally get some offense. A big kick to Montez Ford's head before he climbs in and out of the ring. Jeff Hardy maybe a bit unsure, maybe a bit dazed after those strikes to the heads and those DDTs as Ford tosses him to the outside, climbing to follow him. Ford grabbing Jeff by the arm again and stomping the arm. Montez Ford focusing on the arm, focusing on the head of Jeff Hardy as Jeff Hardy manages to take Montez Ford down. A little neck breaker of his own there. Little face buster. Lifting Montez Ford up here on the outside. And a power bomb to the outside. That's gotta hurt for Montez Ford. A power bomb even to the padding of the outside is gonna hurt as Jeff Hardy tosses him back into the ring. This match only can finish in the ring, so Jeff Hardy very acutely aware of that. Running at Montez Ford, grabbing him. And they're hurting him inside out. Jesus. A suplex from behind, lifting him, slamming to the mat, and then attacking Ford's arm himself. Seeing how he likes it, slamming his arm onto the mat, making the cover a 1. And the kick out by Ford just at the 2. As both of these men really, really want this, you can tell. Jeff beating the hell out of Montez Ford's face here. And Montez Ford busted open. Jeez. Jeff Hardy going for this, busting Montez Ford open with a massive strike to the head. A submission from behind here, the head scissors, as Montez Ford somehow turns Jeff Hardy around and getting to his feet. But Jeff Hardy with a crossbody clothesline already, and then that's gotta hurt. And Jeff Hardy, the leg drop, and then the drop kick. Oh my god, Jeff Hardy is feeling it now against Montez Ford. A slow start, but he is feeling it now. And the springboard crossbody, but Ford manages to roll out the way before grabbing a hold of Jeff Hardy, and the big DDT, turning Jeff inside out. Montez Ford bloodied and all, climbing onto the middle rope. Montez Ford with the splash, but Jeff rolls out the way this time and getting to his feet. Jeff Hardy with a big swing to Montez Ford, and he picks him up. And his DDT of his own. Montez Ford turned inside out. Both of these guys using a lot of moves from each other's arsenal here. Both sharing the load as Jeff Hardy. Twist of fate to Montez Ford. And making the cover. Is that it? 1, 2. And a kick out from Ford at 2. Oh my word. What a match this has been. Montez Ford somehow bloodied face. Managing to kick out the twist of fate as Jeff Hardy outside, inside. Drop kick to Montez Ford, taking him down, climbing to the outside the ring and climbing to the top rope. But Montez Ford so far away as he gets to his feet. And Jeff Hardy a big kick. And a second twist of fate to Montez Ford. Jeff making the cover. 2, 3, and that is that. What a match for these two guys. High octane, a 100 miles an hour all throughout. Lots of DDTs, lots of shots to the face. Montez Ford busted open at one point by Jeff Hardy. And in the end, Jeff Hardy hitting the twist of fate. Montez Ford somehow finding the energy to kick out at 2. But then Jeff Hardy hitting him with a second twist of fate. And there was no kicking out on that occasion. Here is the twist of fate. The beautiful twist of fate. Jeff Hardy making the cover. Look at that. Beautiful. The fans going crazy as Jeff Hardy made that cover. And the referee counted for that too. I don't know how Montez Ford found the energy to kick out. But then a second twist of fate. And bloodied face and all, Montez Ford, no energy left, and Jeff Hardy gets the win. Next week, Jeff Hardy versus Dolph Ziggler in a Universal Championship match, qualifying match. Contendership, one of these men will fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania Backlash. Who will it be? I don't know about you, but I cannot wait to see in what I think will be a really, really good match. But that is all. I really hope you've enjoyed. If you have, then please do leave a like and subscribe for more to see when the next episode drops as we head closer and closer to WrestleMania Backlash and beyond. And as always, I just want to say thank you for watching.